Today I want to speak to you about negative emotions and anger and how it's okay to feel these things every now and then. You're only human. Now, months ago I had serious anger problems and I started to get into a more positive mindset, and I was listening to all these books and I was trying to learn about myself, and I really started to calm down. Now, even now I still get angry about things, I still snap every now and then, but I have made such progress compared to what I used to be like. And at the start I used to think I'm not allowed to think anything negative, I'm not allowed to dislike somebody, I'm not allowed to get angry about something, I'm not allowed to be upset because I'm trying to manifest all these positive things into my life. And as we know, if you have negative feelings, it draws negative things towards you. But even though that's the case, it's still okay to have moments of negativity or sadness or whatever, as long as you manage to turn it around in the end and either try to see the positive of it or just let it go completely. Over in my Poison Pixie channel, I used to do a lot of rants, and that was because not a day went past where I wasn't hating something new. Either it was Jamie Oliver, it was bars, it was a politician, it was McDonald's, whatever. And it was just hate, hate, hate. And it was eating away at my brain. I used to go to bed and I wouldn't get to sleep until like 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was all these scenarios in my head. That person said this to me 5 years ago, I should have said this. If this person says this to me, the more I'll just be telling them. And it was just all pointless crap. It was just all pointless negativity. And the more I thought about it, the worse it got. And it made me physically ill. I mean, it literally made me ill. And I knew that I had to make a change. Now, obviously, if something in your life happens and you're trying to be a positive person and something happens like your grand dies or your dog's sick, nobody's expecting you to walk about saying, oh, life's amazing, I don't have any negative emotions. You're allowed to feel. But the important thing is to try and let go of the actual hatred or the anger or the hurt to a certain degree. I've had boyfriends in the past who have either been compulsive liars, cheated on me or whatever, and I went through months after that saying, why was he such a dick? Why did he cheat on me? I deserve better, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you're holding this anger for somebody who you don't even like anymore. Like, I didn't want to get back with that person. I didn't have any feelings for them or anything. And I was holding on to this hate for no reason. And it was just holding me back. Now I think about any of my exes, I'm still friends with some of them, but I think about the ones who were just complete dicks. And I smile and I think, why did I allow that to annoy me even though I didn't have feelings for that person anymore? Because that person doesn't even matter. If that person wants to go through their life being nasty and treating people like crap, then that's up to them. That's got nothing to do with me anymore. I'm certainly not suggesting that something bad happens to you and you wake up the next morning and you're like, oh, life's amazing, everything's positive, I'm not going to have any negative feelings today. Because that's not how life works, unfortunately. I mean, if there's anybody out there who's able to just get up every single day and just be happy no matter what happens to them, then that's great for them, but I am not one of those people. But I'm trying to be one of those people who moves on with things more quickly, who doesn't think about people who don't matter to them anymore, who doesn't think about negative people, who doesn't let anybody bother them. In my jobs in the past, I've had people speak to me aggressively or be nasty to me for no reason, and I've spent the rest of the day thinking, I hope that fucking bitch dies on the way home, and think all these nasty thoughts. If I wasn't at work, I'd have said this. If I meet her outside and she speaks to me, I'm going to do that. And it's played on my mind. Then by the time I've got home, it's still continuing to play on my mind, and it's bringing up other negative things that's happened to me in the past. It's bringing up scenarios that might happen in the future that haven't even happened, and then I'm not being able to sleep. But now when somebody speaks to me in an aggressive way, I might for a moment or two have these thoughts. They start coming into my head, and now I just put a stop to it. Now I just think, that person is on their way home to have dinner with their family, and they might have a wee bitch about me for 5 minutes, and then they're going to sit down with their family and they're going to go on with their day and forget that I exist. And so for that reason, that person now doesn't exist to me anymore. I hope that person deals with their anger issues and learns how to speak to people more respectfully. Because really, these people are angry at themselves. Now don't get me wrong, There's been times in the past where I've made a mistake in my job. Let's say I've gave somebody £1 change instead of £1.10, and they're really angry about it and they think I'm trying to steal their 10 pence because I'm trying to take everybody's change and go and get myself a carry out after work. And these people get really angry about it. I used to work in a betting shop in a casino, and people would get really angry. Like if you span up a number that they hadn't put on, or if a dog won that they hadn't bet, that was your fault because you were in control of all these things and you were all the cunts and bitches and sluts under the sun. And in these situations I would laugh because I thought, you are crazy. You are a crazy person. You think that I'm in control of that horse race or that dog race. You think that I can deliberately spin a number up on a wheel, which I couldn't, right? And that didn't bother me. But then in other jobs that I had, people would attack me for no reason. Like say if I worked in a shop and there wasn't a price on something and somebody would say, oh, what's the price of this? And I'd tell them, how do you know the price? How do you? And I'm like, it's my job to know. I literally put the price ticket on it myself. When I worked in a hotel, people were constantly angry and they just wanted to blame you for anything that happened. There was people who literally used to fabricate stories and say, oh, I went in and their bed covers weren't changed, or I went in and that bin wasn't emptied, and the management would just give them a bigger room. They didn't think to go in and actually check the bed covers or check the bin to see if I'd done it. And I knew fine well that I had done it because I ticked it off on a sheet, and then when I went in to check the room the next day it was perfectly fine. But anyway, people don't like spending money. So when you work in a situation where people are spending money and one thing goes wrong that they don't like, or if something's not satisfactory to their perfect standards, you're going to get the blame for it. And I used to let this get to me sometimes. But now I just think to myself, you are an angry person. You need to sort out your own problems, and I'm going to go on with my day, and now you don't exist to me. Clearly there's going to be times in your life where something big happens, like somebody dies or somebody in your family's sick, and nobody's expecting you to get up in the morning and say, everything's amazing, I'm just going to block this out, there's no negativity in my life. And no matter how positive you're trying to be, negativity exists. You're going to experience negative emotions whether you want to or not every now and then. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but what I'm saying is, when you're going through times of trying to be a positive person and you experience a bit of negativity, don't be disappointed in yourself. Don't think, oh, I fell back into my old ways, or I'm never going to be a positive person, because it's one step at a time. I still get angry at things, obviously. I still freak out every now and then. I still have angry thoughts in my mind. But I'm making progress. Every day I feel as if I'm really making progress. If you're someone who's also trying to be more positive, let me know in the comments some of the techniques you use to calm yourself down to get into a more positive space. Or you can share a story. Let me know a way that you would have reacted in the past and how you tend to react now. Hopefully we can help each other grow. One of the reasons I decided to make this video was because a few days ago a woman approached me in a car park and she started shouting at me saying, you need a blue badge to park there, you need a disability badge. And I've got a disability badge. And at the time I felt as if I handled it well. I was very calm compared to what I would have been in the past. And I had basically let this go. So then I was on TikTok and I seen somebody make a video kind of similar to what had happened to me. And I thought, I'll make a TikTok video. And as I was thinking about what I was going to say, all of these things started coming back into my brain. I should have said this, I should have done that. And one of the reasons I came off TikTok months ago was because of how negative it was. There was people on there arguing with each other and it was just not fun anymore. To me, TikTok used to be fun and it was like dancing and lip sync and all that. And now it's just full of adults, neds, junkies, like posting all these videos, like sexual videos and things that are just completely inappropriate for children. And it takes a lot of the fun out of it. However, that doesn't mean to say that some of the videos aren't funny and fun to watch. So I went back on it for a while and I started to think, right, okay, I'm going to make this video. And as I was making it, the anger continued to build up in me, and then I ended up making a rant video on my Poison Pixie channel, which I'll post in the description box below if you want to see it. But after I made that video, I sat back and I thought, right, that's it. It's gone. I'm going to let it go now. I'm not going to let it bother me. That woman doesn't matter anymore. And I'm just going to be calm. Now, that wasn't even a situation that was something really terrible. It was just something that built up in my mind because I was on TikTok. And the reason that I came off Twitter as well is because it is so negative. Like, it's just a complete cesspool of negativity. I almost never go on Twitter anymore. And TikTok's kind of the same. Being on social media for me really sparks my anger problems. These days I spend most of my time listening to books on Audible. I'm learning about crystals. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to let these absorb my negative thoughts. And I'm just going to get on with my life and be happy and forget that that woman existed now. Even though I made those 2 videos and I was saying negative things and I was feeling anger at the time, I don't regret doing that because I was obviously just processing those emotions. Now, I go through each day and I'm positive about things that I would never normally be positive about. And it's not a fakeness because I'm genuinely just a more positive person now. But sometimes things happen that would normally have made me furiously angry. And every now and then I sit down and I think, does that anger just not exist anymore? Or is it going somewhere? Is it going somewhere and it's going to come out all at once? I don't know. Somebody could do something to me one day and it could be nuclear. And I do think about that sometimes. But I hope that actually the negativity and the negative thoughts and the anger just aren't there anymore. It's important to keep in mind that no matter how positive you're trying to be in life, you're always going to have days where you wake up and you just can't be bothered. You can't be bothered getting up, you can't be bothered going to work, you can't be bothered tidying, and you don't know why. Everybody has these days. It doesn't mean that you're falling out of your new positive lifestyle. Things are going to happen in your life that's going to hurt you or make you feel sad or make you feel angry. And it's only important to try and process these things in a more positive way, or try and get over it quicker, or to feel these things but not take it out on other people, because that's what a lot of people do. They feel angry or annoyed and then they just take it out on everybody else, and then that makes everybody else miserable. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up, and just keep in mind that no matter how amazing we think we are or how positive we think we can be, we're all human at the end of the day, whether we like it or not. Thanks for watching. Bye!